Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Glad you're here. Come on in. Come on in. Good morning. Let's see. Get this out really quick. There we go. There it is. Boom, boom, boom. Good morning, Chainbreakers. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It is Thursday, November the 21st, 2019. This is going to be another fantastic day because that's the way I choose for my day to be. Hi, I'm Brad Smith. I am your host for Chainbreakers 365 Live and the creator of hashtag Uplift and Rise. I want to welcome you in here today. Good morning, Michael. Glad you're here. First one in here this morning. There's somebody else in here too. Can't tell who it is, but welcome anyhow, whoever you are on there. Glad to have you. It was interesting yesterday. I was kind of watching. I could see some of my friends pop on there and jumping in, but for some reason never saw a single comment until after the show was over and I finished it, and all of a sudden, boom, there were all the comments at one time. So for those of you who are commenting to me during the show, apologize for that. I never saw the comments until after the show was over. Not sure what it was. Anyhow, I'm glad you're here today. We're going to be talking about emotional reasoning versus mental, being driven mentally or by your head. Are you driven by your heart or are you driven by your head? That's the title of today's show. Are you driven by your heart or are you driven by your head? It is really easy for some people to be able to separate things and think with their head and not with their heart. They're the kind of person that says, I set my mind to it and I do it. I set my mind to it and I get this done. I choose to make things happen and I go do them. Those are people that are filled with lots of self-confidence. They're filled with a lot of knowledge within their head that they can put their mind to something and get it done. It's easy for them to put their mind to something and rationalize it and make it happen from a rational standpoint. But at the same time, by far the majority of us are driven by our hearts. We're driven by our emotions. Our emotions tend to sway us one way or the other. All those people that are really hyped up and happy and just joyous getting ready for the Christmas season, they're those premature decorators, right? Those are people that are in a lot of cases are absolutely driven by their heart. Why do I know that? Why do I say that? Because those same people are the ones that have those emotional feelings, those memories, those emotional ties to Christmas and the holiday season. That putting up all the Christmas pretties, as it were, are something that means something to them because they can see what they have emotional ties and feelings tied to every one of it. Man, I see a lot of you jumping on here. I wish I could tell who you were. I'm not sure what's happening this morning. Facebook has been doing some really, really weird things in the last couple of weeks. Not sure what's happening, but man, they're really kind of screwing with some things. But I'm going to keep going. But one of the things that is good to know about our emotions is emotions can be very freeing. We can be very self-confident. We can feel very strong about our ability to be able to do it. We can feel those types of things. I'm confident. I'm solid in the knowledge that we tie those emotions and that rational thinking together. But there's a lot of times too that emotions can absolutely wreck us, can knock our feet out from under us. And emotions can be very real. They can feel very real. And again, we're feeling that emotion. See, that emotion, the interesting thing about it is those feelings really, while they may have a basis in reality, they are not reality. Janine, good morning. I'm glad you commented in here. I never saw your name pop up, but I'm glad you commented. Thank you. So those emotions can absolutely drive us because to us, they feel real. They feel like there's some strong reality in it. And I'm not going to tell you that they're not based in reality. For instance, if in a lot of cases, I know of people that have gotten extremely bad news, let's say. maybe it's the health of a loved one, and that it's not a good report. Maybe they only have a short time to live. Maybe that you've already heard that a loved one has passed away, and we become overwhelmed by those emotions, or we could become frightened at this negative health report. And I'm not going to tell you those aren't real. There is one thing about emotions, though. We can choose to react to our emotions in different ways. We can be overwhelmed by them. We can let our feet be knocked out from underneath of us. We can let them absolutely crush us. And in some cases, people are crushed by them to the point where they lose everything in their life. They lose their family, they lose their homes, they lose their jobs, they can end up homeless, they can end up in addictions, that we can spiral out of control because of negative emotions. But we can use those same emotions to propel us forward. You see, there's a lot of people that get to hitting rock bottom, right? And they know without any question, I cannot live like this. That feeling of the negativity overwhelming us can drive us and propel us forward to accomplish things that we didn't know we were capable of doing. You see, those emotions can be absolutely driving forward as well as they can be crippling. So what's the difference? The difference is your choice. The difference is how you choose to respond to those emotions. You see, we cannot do anything about what comes at us. We can't do anything about those negative things that hit us every day. We can't do anything about how they come in from the left, how they come in from the right. We cannot do anything to necessarily stop the negative things from happening. What we can do, absolutely, is we can choose how we react to those. Hey, Nat, glad you're here, buddy. Glad you joined in. I know you're short time on here. You probably got to get going before too long. Get ready for your show. I'm glad you took the time to jump in, my friend. You see, those negative emotions, we can choose how we react to them. One person that I love being part of, and right now I am in a mastermind group with Glenn Lundy and Danelle Delgado. Danelle is an amazing human being. She has overcome severe poverty as a single parent, trying to take care of 3 children and being told that she has cancer all the same time. And she not only overcame it for herself and has created a huge life, but she's known internationally as the millionaire maker. She's helped people again and again and again build multi-million-dollar businesses. And I was listening to a live that she did last week, and people were asking her questions, and she was responding to them. And one of the questions was asked is, how do you respond when this negative stuff, when you get your feet knocked out from under you, I think is what, oh no, sucker punch, that was the phrase. How do you deal with being sucker punched? Her response was very interesting. First of all, she said, I don't respond right away. I do not respond, because any response that I have is going to be one that I will regret later. I stop and I write down 100 things that she's grateful for. Now, what is she doing? She's training her mind to choose gratitude, to choose joy over this negative experience. She's choosing to focus her mind and focus her attention on the gratitude. And she says, I will keep writing down things that I'm grateful for until my attitude changes, until I find my joy. You see, her book, I Choose Joy, is about writing down those things every day that we're grateful for, writing down those things that drive us, writing those things down that change us, writing those things down that give us that foundation or that attitude of gratitude, because that's not only where joy is, that's where that positive life is. And when we start living in positivity, that's where we start seeing joy and opportunity. That's where the problems tend to diminish and disappear and go away, and gratitude and positivity and joy take over. You see, those are still choices. Sometimes they're easier than others. Sometimes they're harder than others, depending on what that negative thing that is that's hit you. But your choice on how you react to it is still a choice. You can do what Danelle does and stop and start writing down things you're grateful for until your attitude changes. And then you can respond from a whole different place. You can respond, or you can choose to not engage with somebody who's chosen to sucker punch you. You can choose to not engage with that attitude that's put you aside, that's knocked you off your feet, that's knocked you back. We can choose that attitude of gratitude, that joy, to propel us and move us forward. Hi, Leanne, glad you're here. Glad you joined us. So you see, it is still about choice. Now, what did we do? We used our head to control our heart. It is possible to retrain our heart to choose joy. You see, long-term marriages aren't about that love feeling that you got when you were first in that relationship. They weren't about the hormones that kicked in that kind of drove us early on in that relationship. It's about a choice every day to care and love and find happiness in that relationship that you have. It's in that gratitude for that person that's in your life that you have chosen to create a partnership with. That's where that love and that foundation comes out of. It's out of that choice. You see, we make choices in love. We make choices when we decide to tear those relationships apart. So my question is if you're in a feeling where your relationship is not a strong one, what are you choosing for yourself? What attitude are you choosing to drive you? What attitude are you choosing? You see, if we take time to find out that reason we fell in love in the first place, we can go back to that attitude of gratitude. We can be thankful for the things that we had. And the more emphasis we keep putting on that, it will help keep growing us to be joyful and grateful in that relationship. It's the same way with our jobs. Think about where you were with your job when you first started. You see, it's easy over a period of time to start being negative and finding things wrong. But if we remember all the reasons we came and joined that company in the first place, all the reasons we took that job, all the reasons we enjoy doing what we're doing, it drives us forward because we make choices to choose gratitude, to choose positivity, to choose joy. You see, my friends, again, how we drive ourselves and how we choose to let God move us forward, it's in that joy toward our plan, toward what our calling in life is, because that negativity that comes from, we know where that comes from, and it's here, not here. So my friends, choose joy today. Choose gratitude. Choose your emotions to drive yourself forward. Choose your emotions to wrap up and hold close those relationships, your job, your children, your spouse. Thank the Lord for the vehicle you have, even if it has problems. Thank the Lord for the home you have, the roof you have over your home, even if everything isn't right. Take joy in what is right. My friends, I want to thank you today. You provide me joy, and I hope that I'm doing the same for you in helping drive those mental attitudes and breaking those chains that tear us down and lock us and keep us from fulfilling the plan that God has for us. Thank you so much for being here. We got one more day left in the week, in the work week. It's Friday. For those in the business, call it Friday, right? There'll be Friday Junior on Saturday. But either way, join us. And if you're in the car business, join me on Saturday at 9 a.m. for Brad Smith, the original car smith, as we do our Saturday morning sales meeting. Thanks so much, my friends. Thank you for being here. And I look forward to seeing you for Chainbreakers 365 Live tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern. We'll see you then. Thanks so much. Bye now.